Good morning, student. I hope you revise your yesterday class thoroughly and note down the important points in your notebook and make your notes. Okay, so today we will start with a new chapter, that is function. What are function now? Function. Function is a block of code. A function is a programming block of code which is used to perform a single related task. It only runs when it is called. We can pass data known as parameter into a function. A function can return data as a result. Okay, the question comes why we need functions. Because you have to reuse the code. If you write a function of addition, subtraction, multiplication and program in a program you call multiple times, so once you write you have to call the function as many as times you want. But if you are not using function and addition you have to do multiple of times in your program, then you have to write the whole code again and again. So it will increase the line of code as well as it will increase your time also. So to reduce the things we use function. It reduce the line of code, save your time also, and you can reuse the code by writing a function. Okay, so function is basically a block of code. We have already used some Python built-in functions like print. Print is your built-in function. Further we will study types of function, then I will tell you what is built-in function. But we can also create our own function also. Those are user-defined functions. Basically, we divided function into two broad categories. One is built-in and another one is user-defined functions. Okay, what are the advantage of using function? Program development made easy and fast. As I told you, it saves your time. Instead of writing the whole code again and again, if you use a function, then you can recall a function again and again instead of writing a code. So work can be divided among projects. If you have a large project, very large project, then you can also divide the work among the project members, that you have to do this module, you have to do this module, and after completing all the modules you merge all the modules and make your project, so it will be faster. You can complete your project faster. Program testing become easy. If you use function and you program tester, it will be a very easy for tester that to take out the mistake. If there is any faulty function, then the tester will take out that function and inform you as soon as possible. Code sharing become possible. A function may be used later by many other programs. This means that a Python programmer can use function written by others instead of starting from scratch. Suppose in your program you are using a function of addition, subtraction in one program, and after 1 month some other project come, but you want to do, you do the same thing. So what will you do? You will take that function from that project and inbuilt that function in this project. So it's easy for you that you not rewrite it again. So code reusability increases. Yeah, as I told you, you can reuse it. So it's code reusability increases, as a function can be used to keep away from rewriting the same block of code, which we can go and use two or more locations in a program. This is especially useful if the code involved is long or complicated. Next, increase program readability. Suppose the length of the source program can be reduced by using calling function at appropriate places, so program become more readable. Function facilitate procedural abstraction. Once a function is written, Programmer would have to know to invoke a function only, not as coding. Function facilitate the factoring of code. A function can be called in other functions and so on. So these are the advantages. Main advantage is your program development become faster. Second, you can share your code, you can reuse your code and increase program readability. So these are the main advantages of using function. As I told you that there are two broad categories of functions, but we divide function in three parts. One is basic Python function. Okay, basic Python function. Second is Python built-in function. Third is Python user-defined function. What are basic Python function? See, this function definition of declaration, you are using one function that is define calculate. I'm writing this code here and so that wait, yeah, till here you will get readability become easier in the IDL. Yeah, so okay, yes, okay, then some okay, wait, we will write in script mode, not ideally. Okay, Control C, then file, new file, Control V, yes, we define, then sum, okay, this is comment, print, fine, this is also an comment, right. We will save the file we will use save at desktop with file name functions. Okay, save. Now we remove this line. Yeah. Save again, then run your code. Syntax error, it's showing because this statement will come in the next line, that's why it's showing. Okay, we will save the file. Now it's coming. Run. See what it is. We will enter the value a. It's saying define calculate sum a and b. Sum a and b, sum a plus b, return sum. Okay, this print statement is used, is called a function. Here we are using by calling a function. So whatever the result will come, result is here 5. So it calculates, it gives you a function sum. Okay, so 2 plus 3 is equals to 5, that's why 5, the output come 5. Okay, this is simply a function. I will tell you how it works now. Def is a keyword here. Def is a keyword which is used to define or declare a function. Calculate sum, this is the name of the function. A and B are the parameters of function. Then semicolon. So it is very important line that you have to write this line. Def, it is mandatory, then your function name, then your parameters, and then semicolon. Okay, next line, whatever you want to do with the function, like we are doing sum here, sum is equals to a plus b. Next, return sum, it will return the sum. Print calculate sum 2 into 3. Here you will get the output 5. Yes. Okay. Next is your Python built-in function. Python built-in function is your simply Print function is your built-in function. Okay, see again, I will show you. Okay, now the function already given by the Python shell. Those are the built-in function. Okay, yeah. There, oh, it's again writing here. Control Z, wait, print, Control C, then function. Yeah, see, print is your built-in function. It simply print this statement. You all know print length. It will print the length. Save and see what will be the output. The output comes here. Hello world. It prints and it prints the length of this statement. Fine. This is your, remember, this is your built-in function. Next is user defined function. The function we already I told you, calculate sum. That is your user defined function. What are user defined function? User defined function are declared using def keyword. The keyword should be followed by the function name. We can take another example also of function. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Def, then interest, then it will return. If you want to print, you can print. Okay, so this is def keyword, then it will calculate principal, simple interest. We are creating this function to calculate a simple interest. So this is the function to calculate a simple interest. Principal, rate, time, then interest, then put the formula, return simply your principal plus interest. Okay, now save it and then run. Now you want to print here. What will come in your calculation? Print. Okay. Print. Simply calculate. SI. S Control C. Then Control V. And pass the value 2, 3, 2. Fine. Then close the bracket. Oh, it's by mistake. Yeah. What? Shift. Okay. So this is the function. Run it again. It's showing end of. Okay. There's one mistake. We will write the statement from here. How to print. Oh, double bracket. You see what end of line. Oh, double bracket. Yeah. See, it calculates 2.12. The value comes 2.12. It calculates the function. It is user defined. If this function is defined by us, by the user, that's why it is called user defined function. So whenever you call the function, def keyword, the name of the function, then the parameters, then semicolon, then the function calculation, what function you want to print, then print function with the parameters, and you can take input from the user also in the function. Okay, now next come to slide. This is a function. Again we are watching user defined function. That def keyword in Python, I already told you about the things. That def keyword, my own function, print hello from a function. Okay, so write this code and execute in your IDE or shell. Next, variable scope. What's the variable scope in function? There are three type of variables with the view of scope. One is local variable, another one is global variable, and third one is non-local variable. First, we have to cover local variables. What are local variables? Local variables are accessible only inside the functional block where it is declared. Okay, local variables are only called within the function, not outside the function. Fine. So def func s, here see the example, def function s is equals to I love India, then it is a local variable. Print s. Fine. Again s is equals to I love word, then function, calling function, print s. See, we will run the code and see how it will control. Yeah. Okay. Indentation error. Fine. Here also a mistake. Then see, it will give you control S. Yeah, indentation I know. Okay. F5. Yeah, it's done. But there is a error. The name S is not defined because S you are using is here. It's a local variable. But again, if you want to use, if you run for this function, it will print the S, but not for this. So it will give you an error. If we remove this code, okay. Now control S, F5. Again, it's giving an error. Why it is giving an error? Because S is not defined. It's saying that S is not defined and we are using it in the function. Fine. Global function. But there would not be a mistake. See, S. Yeah, S has a local variable print S. It's giving a print S error. This might be error because control S, indentation error. Okay, we will see it later. Yeah, now it's running. Actually, there is some indentation error, that's why it is not taking this. Okay, print S. Then it will print I love India because this is defined over here. Next, we can see for the next thing also. Fine. We will copy from here and we will write over here. In Python, always remember the indentation. The only drawback I found is that indentation problem is we are facing lot problem of indentation over here. Okay. See. Yeah. What output we are giving? It's a local variable. Okay. S is equals to I love India, local variable, then I love word, fun, print S. The output we are getting I love India and I love word. For this S, it's a local variable. Okay. So here it will print the value of this S. But now here we change the value of s, so it again when we printing it change the value of s. See global function. What are global function? Global function variable which is accessible among whole program. Once you define and it's accessible among whole program, then it's a global variable. Anywhere once you define and anywhere in a program you can use that variable. Again see how many indentation error will be there. Yeah, I know it. Okay, global s. Fine. Somewhere end of line where here. Okay. Okay. We will remove here. Yeah. Right. Saying end of line while scanning single literal. Okay. Wait for a minute. We use hashtag here. Right. Run the code. Skip a save code and then invalid syntax. Oh my god. What's error here is, okay, this is inverted comma error. Fine. Yeah. Control S F5. Again invalid syntax. Yeah, it will give invalid. Yeah. Okay, its output is written was fine. Yeah. See. It's saying S is not defined. Again the same error it is as we were facing over there in the last program. Okay, it's nothing, only the indentation problem is there, that's why it's giving it's not defined. Now S is defined. Okay, so we can see that it's a global. I love India, I love world. What's your output here? I love world, I love world, because S is a global variable. Fine. Next, so we study about the local variable and the global variable. Next, find the output of below program. What would be the output? It's written define function x y. A is equals to 10, x comma y is just a swapping. Okay, y comma x. B is equals to 20, B is equals to 30 and C is equals to 30. Print A, B, X, Y. So what's the value of A, B, X, Y? It's just a swapping. Okay, it's written over here 1, sorry, 10, 20, then 30 and yeah. What's the output of this? You can use it as it is. You can take it, write down over here, Control S. Okay, yeah, indentation error again it will give one. Y is not defined. Why Y is not defined? X and Y are defined. Wait. Yes, it's now running and it will gives you the value of A, B and X, Y. Okay, next, come to next slide. Variable scope and function. After that, yeah, Again one more program is there. Define function x, y, global a equals to 10, x, y x, b is equals to 20, b is equals to 30, c is equals to 30. Only the change in the last program and in this program is that there your variable is local, but here your variable is global. Fine. So it will give you output 10, 30, 100, 50 and 10, 2, 3, 4. Global variable in nested function. If there in one function there are a lot of function, more than one function, then it is called nested function. Define function 1, define function 2. Two functions are over there. For function 1 it's a local variable, but for function 2 it's a global variable. So print before calling function 2 plus strx, print calling function 2 now. Function 2 calling, after calling function 2 strx. Fine. Function 1 x in main. So first we will see before calling function 2 string strx. Fine. So it will take this function because it's within a function. Now calling function 2 now. After calling function 2, the value of str is 100 because it is still using the function 1. Then here you will see x in main. The x in main is here 200. The value you will get the 200. Okay. Variable scope in function. Non-local variables. What are non-local variables? Non-local variables are changed to global and remove their declaration. They change to a global or remove this declaration. X is equals to 100, define function 2, then non-local. It's written over here that it is non-local variable. X is 200, then print, okay, function 2, print, x is equals to 50, function 1, print. First statement, print statement is here before calling function 2. What will be the value? 100. Then calling function 2 now. After calling function 2, 200 and x in main program is 50. Now functions. Parameter and arguments. What are parameter and arguments? Passing and return value. These are the specified after the function name. Inside the parenthesis, multiple parameters are separated by comma. The following example has a function with two parameters x and y. Here you are saying, as I told you, in this bracket you pass the parameter 1. You can pass number of parameters over here. Define some name of the function and these are the parameters. When a function is called, we pass two values. One is x and another one is y. Okay, and it's used inside the function to sum up the values and store this value in z. So that's why it's written z. Okay, if x and y are 4 and 5, then what z will return? 4 plus 5 equals to 9. So function prototype is a declaration of function with name, argument and return type. And a formal parameter, that is a parameter, is in the function definition. An actual parameter is an argument, is in function call. So what are arguments? What's the difference between parameters and arguments? Okay, this is also today task for you. Write the difference between parameter and arguments. Next. And whatever question I am giving you, you have to do in your notebook or send it to me on my WhatsApp number. Function argument. Function can be called using following type of formal arguments. One is required keyword arguments, default arguments, and variable length arguments. Positional parameter. What are required arguments? These are the positional parameter. Argument pass in correct positional order. Here, see example. Def square x, z is x into x, return z. In above function is square, we have to definitely need to pass some value because we are finding square. So this is a argument. This argument required. So this is required argument. Next is keyword argument. Def function name and age. Okay, this print is passed into information into this function name and age. Now you can call print info function age equals to 50 and name what Mohawk. Fine, value 15 and Mohawk is being passed to relevant argument based on keyword used for them. Default arguments. Next, default arguments or default parameters. Here you are passing the values. If you are not passing here values, these are then called your first one, required arguments. Okay, yeah, here you are passing the values. That's why default value of x and y is being used when it is not passed. Variable length argument. This is the variable length argument. Def sum var tuple. For the length of this argument will vary time to time. Now the above function sum can sum n number of values. So we study about the four type of arguments. Okay. Now pass array list to function. Arrays are popular in most programming language like Java, C, C++, JavaScript and so on. However, in Python they are not that common. When people talk about Python arrays, more often than not, they are talking about Python list. Instead of array, we are using list. Array of numeric values are supported in Python by array module. Okay. So def do something the list. For element in the list, print element. This program is here. Def do something. Def is your keyword. Do something, name of the function. This is the parameter. For element, this is the loop, for loop. Okay, in the list, print element, do something. Here you define the number of contain the list. Here red, blue. Again second list is over here. Now it's first print element. What are the element? 1, 2, 3 and red, green, blue. These are the element of the list. So list is mutable data type. That's why it treat as a pass by reference, because it's mutable. You can change it later on also. That's why we are called pass by reference. And you know mutable and immutable. Mutable, once you pass you can change. And example of mutable is list. Immutable, once you pass it cannot change. It will give you error. That is tuple. Next, mathematical function. In last class also we studied a lot of mathematical functions. So mathematical functions are available under math module. To use mathematical functions under this module, we have to import the module using import math. Suppose you have to square root. Use function is square root. So in file what you will write? Import math R. We will see here. Wait. Control A, delete. Yeah. Import math R is equals to math dot sqrt to print run the code. It gives 1.44 because we are finding the square root of 2. For 4 it's, we know, write 4, then control S, then it's written 2.0. Okay, so result come here, square root function. Any mathematical function you have to use, you have to import math function. Fine. And there are some mathematical function. Have a look on that. Cell and factorial, floor, F mode, exponent, log. In last class I already showed you these functions. Okay. So use these function, import math library, and then use these function. String function are available in Python standard module. These are always available to use. For example, capitalize function convert the first character of a string to uppercase. I love programming. S dot capitalize will capitalize I love first letter. Okay, first character of a string. I love programming. So result you can look over here. Fine. There are some string function over here. Capitalize, case hold, center, count, encode, end with, find, index, and etc. Again see some string function. Don't worry, I will provide you PPT and you can see from there. Okay, and use these. So I give you 2 tasks today to program to write, and use math function and string function as many as you can use. So complete your work on time and have a good day.